Hello, everyone. Good morning, afternoon, or night, whenever you're watching this video. I am coming to you, ladies and gentlemen, today with a DIY on this ring right here. I'm going to have to apologize, y'all, if this video is a little dark than what you're normally used to me recording. I am not in my area, so I'm going to go ahead and try to get through this as quick as possible. Here are the items that you're going to need. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. My name is Joyce McTeer, and I am the owner and operator of La Georgia Creations Designs. I am coming to you all today with a DIY. I'm going to show you all how to make this ring right here. Here are the items that you're going to need for this DIY. You're going to need some round nose pliers. You're going to need wire cutters. You're going to need some 20 gauge wire. And this 20 gauge wire, I cut out 24 inches of 20 gauge wire. You're going to need 9 inches of 12 gauge wire, and you're going to need a 8mm bead. Now, you don't necessarily have to use an 8mm bead. It's completely up to you. You can use anything. You can make it. You can make the bead bigger or smaller. It is completely up to you how big you want your bead to be. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The very first thing we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is we are going to take our 12 gauge wire and our 20 gauge wire, and we're just going to wrap the wire around the 12 gauge wire, the 20 gauge wire around the 12 gauge wire. So we're just going to place it over top or underneath, however you're comfortable with, and we're going to just wrap it. We're going to do it 5 times. Just make some loops, 5 loops. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. Sorry, y'all, if I'm out of frame. And that's 5, okay? So this is pretty much what you're going to have. I hope you all can see that. Now, what I am going to do is, whoops, I'm going to push this down because we want to make sure that it stays nice and snug together, okay? Now don't worry about this piece right here that's sticking up. We're going to cut that off later, okay? Now what we're going to do is we want to get this, we want to place our bead in the center of our wire. So most of the time, y'all, when I make these rings, I eyeball it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do about a 1/2 inch in between, and I'm going to be making some spirals. So this would be 1. This would be 2. This is 3. Let me move this stuff because I got a lot of wire. 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is what I'm doing. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, now I stop right there because I just want to look at my wire just to see whether or not if I'm in the center of my wire, and I'm not. I still have a little ways to go, so I stopped at 11. So I'm going to do 12, 13, and 14 coming up. When I get to 14, 14 pretty much puts me in the center of my wire. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bead and I'm going to place my bead on my 20 gauge wire and just bring it all the way down. And this is pretty much what you're going to have, is all the way down. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to hold it up just a tad bit like this. We're going to pinch this up just like that, and then bring our bead over, okay? Because we want to, that's what we want right there. And then we're going to take and pinch this side over here down. And this is what you're going to have. It's going to look just like that. Then we're going to hold it in place as tight as we can and just wrap it around one time. Okay, and that's going to hold it in place. Okay, then we're going to take and come up, and then we're going to wrap around our bead a couple times. So we're going to go, it doesn't matter which way you go, just wrap around it. That's one. Then we're going to go around again. That's two. Okay. Go around again. That's three. And I'm going to show you what you're going to have. That's three. Okay. Now we're done at three. We want to pull it tight. This is what you're going to have. That's what it's going to look like. And then we're going to wrap it around and then come right back down and do the same thing that we did on this end right here. And we're just going to take it all the way down. Okay, it's like little spirals all the way down. It doesn't have to be perfect, especially if you're just making this ring for yourself. Now, if you're making it to sell, you know, y'all know you want it to be nice and perfect. But if you're not making it to sell, then it doesn't have to be perfect if you're making it for yourself, okay? And then we're just going to continue to come down. And then when we get down to the end, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? Just like we did up at this end right here. Okay? All right. Now we're going to make sure we're going to take and make sure that everything is nice and tight. We're going to bring that around. And then we're just going to cut off these ends right here. So we're going to cut those off. Just like that. And we're going to cut off this piece right here. Just like that. Now we're just going to take our round nose pliers and we're just going to go in and just make sure that it is flushed up against the wire, meaning that there is nothing sticking. Okay, we're going to do this on both sides. Just like that. Sorry, y'all, out of frame. And then what we're going to do is I am going to just make a little loop. And I'm going to start rolling it just like this. Okay. And then I'm going to go down to the other end down here and do the same exact thing. But I'm going to do it the opposite way. So I'm going to go do this one this way. Just like that. Okay. And this is pretty much what you're going to have. Okay, now what y'all, so the next thing we want to do is we want to just bend our ring up like this. And we're going to start rolling it as if we are trying to measure it to fit our finger. Just like this. Okay, and then we're going to do this side the same exact way. Just like this. So this is pretty much what your ring is going to start looking like. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our round nose pliers and we're just going to go and roll it up, roll it in a little bit more to define what we're making. Just like that. Okay. And you may have to play with it a little bit to really get it to your liking, because that's what I have to do most of the time. When I'm making my rings, they don't come out exactly the way I want them to, so I just have to keep playing with it until I get it the way I want it to be. Okay, and you just keep playing with it and keep fooling with it until you get it the way you want it to be. And then the last thing we do is you try it on to see if it's going to fit. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try it on to see if it fit, and it's perfect. And see, the thing about this, it's adjustable. So if you want to sell some of these, make some of these to sell, you can just let people know that it's adjustable. And so that when they get it and they try it on, they can adjust it to their liking of how they want it to be. Let me take this off for 1 minute because it's okay. And this is it. That's it right there. So I want to thank you all for joining me for this DIY Monday. This is really cute, something simple. It's adjustable, like I said. Make sure that you let people know that this ring is adjustable. Okay, and I want to thank you all for joining me for today's DIY. Y'all have a wonderful and awesome day. Peace and blessings, everyone. See ya.